Hi, it's David here. I want you to read the hard right edge with me. I want you to do that. A lot of the videos on the channel promotes just that. Hard right edge trading, hard right edge trading, hard right edge trading. If you want consistency in your trading, we need to do the same thing over and over and over again. We need monotony in our trading. We need to be able to implement the same thing. It's all about repetition. I teach people how to read the market like literature, and I'm going to teach you. You're on the channel right now by fate. I did not pay for subscribers, views, likes of the sort. I promise you I haven't. I'm going to teach you how to read the hard right edge for free. What you do from that point on is totally up to you, but you're here by fate. We're going to read this hard right edge. This is supposed to have been my conclusion of being on here in January, but we're going to read this hard right edge. Let's read it together. Let's do it. All right, so here's the chart. Here's our rules. And again, after you learn, you can do whatever you want moving forward. All right, you can go wherever you want to learn more, wherever you would like to go to learn more. My job is just to give you something to build a foundation on, and it's free. All right, so take advantage of that. Been trading for a very long time. Here's the rules. 50% of the current bar in transition needs to rise above the prior bar's high. So if you're new to the channel, we need this midpoint, which is that black floater, this line right here. We need it, well, for this scenario, it's falling beneath that low. There's your rule. All right, so there's your rule. I don't have any indicators on the chart. I'm going to teach you from a plain chart, and we're going to be doing this for a while. All right, so this is not going to be the first and last video of this. I'm going to teach you how to read the chart. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to teach you how to read the chart in a very simple, systematic approach. It's going to be simple, and you're going to be able to read this hard right edge. I want you to do it with me. All right, so everything that I tell you, you can exploit it. All right. For whatever amount of money that you would like to, of course, acquire out of the market. It's simple. This could be the hard stop. Now, you would want to go directional, but we're not going to talk about that right now. Let's just deal with the pattern. It's suggesting that it can go down, but this is supposed to be the hard stop because that bar's mid is beneath this low. Now, can it run it? Yes, it can. It absolutely can. And so if it does that, that just means there may be an opportunity for it to go back and it's okay, that wouldn't have worked. The losses come with it. Now I'm gonna explain to you why this can happen. I'm gonna even tell you how far it's get ready to go if it's gonna go up. Let me tell you this before it gets there. Let me tell you this. All right, now I'm gonna explain to you what I just did. I'm gonna tell you this. Hard right edge. We want that mid to get above this bar's high. It's not doing it. All right. So it's not doing it. So we're not totally where we want to be with this pattern. There's so many other patterns that I know, so many other things that I can tell you about the market, but I want to give you rules. I want to give you some rules, some simple rules that you can apply. I'm going to tell you how to read this hard right edge. So just read it with me. Here's the rules. It's only two. All right. So it's only one if you're going up, and it's only one if you're going down. It's not it's not what you think it is. It's really simple, and I've been doing this for many, many years. All right, so I want to express to you, it's very much possible to read the market, and get, what you will want out of it. It is. We're still unable to get this midpoint. Now, this is the bar timer here. All right, so this clock right here, this timer that's ticking down, that's the bar timer for this bar. So if you're new to trading, this is the bar timer. We're trying to get price to close, well, not just close, we wanted to get that midpoint above this bar's high. Can it still go up? Yes, it can. There's other price patterns that I know. I'm just not releasing it to the public. There's so many things that I can tell you about price, but I want to start right here with the hard right edge. Let's look for this. Let's look for this. So while looking for this, I'm explaining to you what made me say it's going to go that far. Now let's take a look and see how far that is. That's here. So you can pull up the chart by yourself and know exactly about how far it will go. Now remember, we just when we pulled it up, it was going down. It was suggesting that it would go down, but then it came back up and it stopped that bar out. All right. So then I said to you, now here's our scenario. Here it is. Right now, all we're concerned about is the up. Let's not worry about the down anymore because they clearly didn't let the down work. So this is the only rule. This is what you're looking for now. All right. So now this bar here would be your hard stop. Okay. And you have to allow it to trade upward. All right. So it's really simple. Let's see, can it make it without hitting this level here? All right, let's see. Now, again, there's so many other price patterns that I know. Trust me, I know quite a bit about the market. I do. But I want to prove to you yourself, and I want you to prove to you that you can read the chart with nothing on it, and you don't have to have a lot of rules, and you don't have to have a lot of charts. You can just read this chart and become profitable. You don't need all of that. All right. So let's see, can they make it to that target? Now already it did go net positive. All right. So you were already net positive. You're in the trade. The stop is back here and you're just waiting. You're not doing anything. Now once it gets to that target, I want you to let go. All right. So that's the most important. It made the target. So you are out of the trade, net positive. You took your first loss back here. Now, is it possible for you to stay in the trade? Yes, it is. I took off the wrong one. Let's just move this one up. Let's just move this one up. If you wanted to stay in the trade, you absolutely can. But the goal was to get it here, and it made it. Take your money. Take your money. Go about the rest of your day. Do whatever you want to do. Take your money. You took one loss. Now let's measure out where you would have been at with it. All right. So say you would have got in roughly about right there. All right, now let's turn this around. You would have got in, I would say roughly about, because that midpoint definitely got above that high fairly quick. So you would have got in, got your money back. Okay, you would have got your money back, and you would have made a bit more. All right, so now you can stay in it. It's totally up to you. It's totally up to you, but it made its destination. And your worst case scenario, you're at break even with the opportunity to take another trade. All right, now I'm just trying to give you an example. That I'm trying to give you an example. Now, did you have to go this way? No, absolutely not. Now let's talk about that. All right, let's talk about that. Now, you're more than welcome while I'm talking to keep looking for that scenario, because remember, as long as you're wanting to go long, okay, which is going up bullish, you're just looking for that. That's all you're looking for. And I want you to be in the trade before the bar finish. See, that's the other part of it too. I don't want you to wait until this bar timer is ticking completely out before you're in that trade. I don't want that. I want you in that trade the moment that this midpoint rises above this bar's high. So you should be net positive and take whatever you want out of the trade. I don't care if it's $5. I want you to take whatever you need consistently every time you see that scenario. If it's just 5 ticks, 20 ticks, 2 ticks, whatever it is, I want you to just constantly get in the trade. Once you see that, don't do it no sooner the bar open. Wait a second, because sometimes they can push down first. Sometimes they'll do that first, and then they'll do it. So don't just get in it the moment that the bar starts, because the mid is always going to be right where it starts at. Let it move a little bit. Just let it move a little bit. And then once you see it begin to, actively move outwardly, beyond the high in this scenario, the top of the bar is the high. Once you see it begins to actively move in that direction, I want you to get in that trade. Hurry up, throw your stop right there and get get something. Remember, I told you it can be 2 ticks, 5 ticks, 20 ticks, but get something. That's the most important part. And you can always do it again. It's all over the chart. So you don't have to just commit to staying in a trade forever. You don't have to do that. Just take another trade. Just take another trade. It'll happen again. So you don't have to just stick around and hope that it'll keep going. Now I'm gonna try to explain to you in a very simple way how you could just stay in it for a bit longer. All right. So you don't have to just immediately get out and then go, and execute another trade. You don't have to do that. And I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna prove it to you. All right. So hard right edge, we're reading the hard right edge. This is not on YouTube. People do not slow it down on YouTube and teach you how to read the hard right edge. Okay. I'm wanting to show you how to do just that, how to exploit the movement of the market. And I'm teaching you a real time technique on how to read momentum, how to read market direction, how to read the number one principle that's operating inside this chart is majority, and how to spot that in real time. There's nothing online that I'm aware of that's willing to bring you to that point of being able to do that. And I want to be the one to do that. All right. So I've been doing this for years, and I want to explain to you how you can begin to do it yourself. When let me do this. Now you can keep looking at that, but I want to tell you how you can stay in it so you don't just have to take the little, 5 ticks, 10 ticks, 20 ticks. You don't have to do that. You can actually take more. You can. I'm gonna just do something and you'll catch on to what I'm doing. All right. So I want to do this. I want to do this. All right. So I teach trend here. I do, but I want to do this. All right. So you see this? Then once I do this a few times, you'll definitely understand what's happening. All right. So you see. All right. Now I want to do this again. Let me measure this one more time. You see? All right. I want you to see how you can possibly stay in the trade a bit longer. All right. So I'm gonna do this because they went past here, but they didn't pass that, and that's the other part. I'm sorry, I should have expressed that to you. If you're not going to come past here, okay. So when it goes down and it decides to lift up, it broke past that. Okay. Now remember, you need to have a stop here. You need to have that. All right. Now if it breaks past this low, it's not going back up here yet. So that means it must do this distance. Now it didn't want to give it to you here. It didn't want to do that. That's okay. Remember, your stop effectively can be up here. Now, if you want to get closer, we're going to use that technique. We're going to use this diagram right here. If you want to get closer, all right, this is the only part about it right here. If you want to get closer. But if you want to just read distance, this is what I'm teaching you right now, how to read distance. All right. So when it broke past this pivot, when it lifted up here, now the pivot is just when it V's. If you knew the trading, it's just when it does this. All right, it's A and V. You can just look at it as the alphabet. It's the A and the V. That's all it is. When it lifts up, okay, when it lifts up, if it won't go back past here, you better expect this to show back up. It's called thought, action, habit, character. Because every time we do something, and the diagram is right here. When you have an idea, let me bring it down just a bit. Whenever you think of something, you have your end in mind. That's the thing that motivates you to do it because you have in your mind where you want to be. So when you look at the chart, I want you to have the end in mind. It's not what you're seeing currently. This is what makes for the hard right edge traders like myself. We read the hard right edge. We don't need to look backwards. We don't have to do hindsight. You know who you are, right? You answer to your name when someone calls you because that's your name. You know yourself, you know who you are, you know what you want. When it comes to mind, you know how you want to go about getting it. Well, the market does the same thing. When it comes to its mind, it knows exactly how it wants to go about getting it. Okay, it's just that simple. So now when it pushes up, if it's not going to come back past here, okay, now I know we still got this up here. Let's just kind of stretch this forward. If it's not going to come back past here and it comes back this way, you still have to expect this. All right. So if it's not going to come back past here, now you could have tried it here, but it pushed up and then it leaned over again. It's just being difficult. It's fine. The key is, will it come back past here or will it come back past here? And well, it went past there. So now, okay, so now let's do this. It's really simple. I want you to understand this. It's really simple. Now I'm broad stroking it. I'm broad stroking it. Okay. Okay. I'm broad stroking. Now you can, now remember, it came from back here and it did that. Okay. So a little bit of a room, a little bit of room here. Now, if you want to get close, you have to use this. You have to use this. All right. That's the simplicity of it. You have to use this. But if you don't mind just being right, if you don't mind just being right, this will show up. Okay. At some point, it will show up. If they don't, the key is they can't come back past here. Now, let's do it based on what they're doing right now. Let's see if it wants to do this again. Let's see. Let's see. Now, that's the chart all the time, every day. They're giving us the scenario for the up. Now, let's see if they mean it. That's the key. Let's go back to our real time. We get ready to do real time again. This must be the hard stop if they're going to go up. Or let's do both. Let's do both scenarios. Let's do this. Let's do both scenarios because remember, if they don't break this, okay, if they don't break this, this has to show up. All right, it has to show up. So that would put them here. Okay, it can't be both. It cannot be both, and that's the only problem. It cannot be both. Now, because they have been moving up, we can assume that they want to go up. Now, there are some pieces that I'm leaving out. Okay, there is, but I want to be able to give you framework. If you're the new trader and you're having a hard time with trading, I want to give you some framework, and we're going to be doing this for a while. I want to let you know I am wanting to show you something that's repeatable and it will happen over and over and over again. And I'm full of information like this. I'm only doing this for free because there's things that I clearly can't tell the public because it will compromise my business. I'm a business also. I'm not just David, the YouTube personality here. Well, I'm not even a personality on YouTube. I'm a I'm a trader trying to introduce to you some information. YouTube personalities, they want to entertain you and entice you to be a trader. I don't want to do that. I don't want to entice you. Absolutely not. You can lose everything you got to the market. My job here is to make sure that that doesn't happen. All right. So I'm not a YouTube personality. I don't do that. All right. So but I am someone on YouTube trying to present to you content that's simple, that's not complicated. And I'm full of information that's beyond the scope of what I'm telling you. So I can tell you whether or not the pattern would work, the thing that I'm showing you. I can tell you what there's filters to what I'm telling you. There's other information that I know. I'm not able to disclose that on YouTube. All right. It's YouTube. Okay. But I want to give you quality content that's so robust that it would absolutely outperform most of the things that you would have to pay for. Now you can read the rest of my information on the chart. Okay, you can read the rest of the information that's on the chart, but I want to talk to you about this diagram and let the information prove to you what you're capable of now. Because you're going to be capable of something the more you watch my videos. The more you go and watch my videos, you will become capable. You're not going to keep struggling with trading. That's not what's going to happen. You're going to become very capable of reading the market over and over and over and over again. And you're going to become consistent because you're going to do the exact same thing that I'm telling you right now. You're going to do the same thing over and over and over again. You know why? Because when you have a thought, there's not several different ways you do that. Okay? When you have a thought, there's not several different ways you do that. Now you may change a couple actions to get to your destination, but guess what? You thinking of an end, you thinking of the outcome is not going to change. Your mind is only functioning one way. That's all your mind do. It only comes up with the idea and the ingenuity, if you will, to get to where it wants to go. But its function is just to think of what it is that it wants. The market does the exact same thing. It produces majority and it only covers the ground that it plans to go. But to get to that distance, it uses majority. I promise you it does just that. Even if you don't see it on this time frame, it's still happening on another time frame that's beyond the scope of the time frame you're looking at. It's happening, you just don't see it. But it's utilizing the principle of majority. Okay, I want you to know that this is not random. I don't care what no one is telling you. I know they got, past results not indicative of future, that's garbage. You know why they're telling you this? You know why they're telling you this? Because you'll never become consistent if you keep believing that it's random. You won't be consistent. So past results is not indicative of the future. So don't go with that. I want you to see this. I want you to see it for yourself. We're on this hard right edge and we're just reading it. We're reading what's happening right now. They haven't gotten here yet. They went past here, so this not going to work. So when are we going to get back to this? Now remember we got a little bit of a window that we can operate within. All right. So remember they came from back here. So we got a little bit of a window. We do. We got a little bit of a window. Now, this is what I want to tell you. All right. I want to tell you this. For everything that you do in life, you have primary and secondary values. So the primary value is the thing that you rank the highest. Okay, the thing that you would want the most. But the secondary one kind of comes in like, okay, if I can't get that to work out, I'll take that. The market does the same thing. Now, here's And I'm gonna try to show you examples of that while this is forming. But we just needed to get here to complete what we wanted from here. Now it's close. It just hasn't gotten there yet. It hasn't gotten there yet. Then let me show you the primary and the secondary value. Let me show you some of that. Let me show you some of that so you'll know I'm not just telling you this information. I want you to see it. I want you to see the mind of the market on the chart. Okay, remember that's the thought. Okay, so this is the thought. Okay, so this right here is the COT. That's the center of the trend or the cost of the thought. Now I'm not telling you exactly how many bars is a trend yet. I'm going to tell you before the video is over. I'm going to tell you how many bars is the trend. But first, I want you to understand function and mechanics. If you can understand, because again, and I'm gonna show you a couple of diagrams of how I approach markets, and it's very simple. It's not complicated. Here's the cost of the thought for the down. Okay, so that's the cost of the thought for the down. This the cost of the thought for the up. Here's the cost of the thought here, COT, cost of the thought, or the center of the trend. We're repeating the same information. That's what we do. We evaluate whether or not it's even worth it. Okay, we evaluate whether or not it's even worth it. That's what we do. We evaluate whether or not it's worth it, and it's primary and secondary, and we always go with primary if we can pull that off. And so this is the center of the chart, or I'm sorry, the center of the trend. The center of the chart worked that way too, but we're not there yet. I want to teach this to you slowly, and we're going to do this for a few videos, and it's going to all be just like this. So if you're new to trading, I want you to pay attention to everything that I'm trying to disclose to you. You can get caught up to everything else over time, but I want you to start right here with this video right now. I want you to start with this one. This is what I'm here for. All right. So we got close, but we didn't quite make it. All right. Now let's do it with some of these examples here. All right. So then it took off running. It took off running here. All right. So now let's do the primary and secondary values. Let's do this. All right. So let's just take a look. It came off the high and went down to the red bar and went to the red bar. This is the red bar. All right. So now let's do this. Okay. If it's not going to break here, okay. If it's not going to break here, guess what? Guess what? Come on. Let's just make it simple. Not a whole lot of convoluted rhetoric. Not we ain't gonna do that. We're not doing it. We're not gonna give it a bunch of funny names and come on, let's go get three charts and look at this chart and see what this chart is doing. We're not doing that. That's not trading. That's not professional trading. All right. That's not it. The professional side is taking an assessment of what it is that the market is explaining to you. The market is talking to you. It's just like the alphabet. It's 26 letters. There's over 7,000 words a person can speak in a day. But the essence of it all is coming just from 26 letters. And it's important that you just get the meaning. It doesn't matter how many words are being said. I want you to just get the meaning. What is the chart absolutely is saying to you? Now, here, let's do it here. The cost of the thought, center of the trend. What is the market saying to you? All right, so now it's trying to head back up. Okay, let's see if it's going to get, let's say roughly about right here. All right, so that let me put my arrow for the down. I want you to look at the chart very objectively. Don't let these movements get you. Don't let the movements get you and throw you off. That's not what it's about. It's about simplicity, and I'm gonna prove it to you. I'm gonna prove it to you. If no one else will get online and absolutely show it to you in real time and explain to you without a bunch of funny names and a bunch of different terms, I'm gonna prove it to you. No, you shouldn't have to watch me place a bunch of trades in order to learn. You shouldn't have to do that. That's insulting you because I'm not feeding your mind. You won't never be able to make your trades work if I do that. Yeah, I can make mines work, but what about you? What about you? There's too many traders online trying to trade in front of you, but they won't take the time to explain to you the activity because they themselves is following an indicator or some regurgitated information from somebody else who has some fog understanding about what the market really is. The market is simple and it's doing the simplest things every day, and you don't need to study all weekend long to get this to work. If someone is handing you months and months of hours and hours of rhetoric to cipher through, they've missed what's happening on the chart. or better yet, that's just their interpretation. I want to give you mine. I want to give you mine because when I go to give you something, I want to make sure that you're able to experience change because that's what a mentor should do. Now, I want the chart to mentor you. It's not me, but mentor they give, well, they administer help and give advice. They do both. They give help and advice. So now, if the advice is canceling out the help, and this is something that I've told them on the channel, if the advice cancels out the help, then it cannot be a mentor. It cannot be a mentor. The person cannot be a mentor. If the advice is canceling out the help, so once you hear me talk and you cannot see your trading change, then I can't be your mentor. It's just that simple. Maybe somebody else can be it. I can't be it. All right, so there may be people that's listening to me as they're watching this video. Maybe I'm not the one for you. The mid is above the high. Remember, if you want to go back up, you need this one. You need this one. But we just want to see, can we get to that distance? Either this, which is close, it's not bad, especially if you could have picked it up from up here. It's happening again. But remember, your stop is here. Okay, your stop is here, and we're aiming. Where are we aiming for? We're aiming for this. So let's put our line there. Cost of the thought, center of the trend. Cost of the thought, center of the trend. Just remember COT. Cost of the thought, center of the trend. And then we look for just two rules every day, all the time when we pull up the chart. This is what I teach. I teach simplicity. I teach principles. Something that you should be able to repeat over and over because the market is doing the same thing over and over and over again. There's no way that you'll be able to have consistent results in your trading unless you implement consistency. It's just like the law of the farm. You have to sow an apple seed in order to get the apple. You can't go to the chart, have preconceived notions about whatever it is that you think the market is going to do without the market telling you that it's willing to do that. And that has nothing to do with hindsight. It's not about hindsight. It's about, is it ready to do that now? And so this is that now stuff. Now, sure, you can go get a reference if you would like, but I don't want you to be just absolutely blind to what it is that it may be telling you currently. At this moment, it suggested that it could go up. Now, remember, this is me giving you just out of the box information. There are some things that I can tell you. Now, if you want to take time, just comb through the chart, see can you figure out what it is that will make this one work versus that one. It's totally up to you. I do provide some stuff, but hey, guess what? We're doing this. All right. You can read the rest of it. It went up. It did not want to go past here. Guess what? It has no choice but to produce this. Okay, and it got really close. It just didn't make it. So we have no other expectancy but for it to get this far. That's all we can do. We can expect it to get this far. And again, you can get 5 ticks, 2 ticks, 20 ticks, whatever you think is necessary for you. Let's move our stop. Let's So now we're going to be looking at the stop side again. Let's do this because remember they're breaking a high, and this is something I do want to tell you with this when because we haven't gotten here, but I do want to tell you, and this is repeatable too. This is repeatable information that I'm about to tell you. Whenever they break a high, remember the A's and the V's. Let's go back to that. I want to make sure I show you. Do I still got my A and V up here? Do I still got it up here? Yeah. So whenever they break a low, this is a low. Whenever they do this, whenever they go past it, they tend to come right back. Now it would help. It would absolutely help if they gave you two of them, two bars. I don't care what color they are. They just need to be below that V. If they do that, they still coming back. But the goal is if they did this, there's a good chance they're going to go back. Just a good chance. It's a good chance that may happen. They poke their head outside of this high, they coming back. So just kind of keep that in mind. And again, with the A, it's the same thing. Okay, if they go outside that high, you want to see them do it twice. But oftentimes they'll only do it once and they'll come back. Okay, and then it's a whole nother reason why that happens. Okay, it is. But if you see them do it twice, that's better. That's just better. And then wait somewhere back here if you're not already in it, or if you're far enough away from it, just hold on. If they do it twice, they may get back to it. All right. So I just want to tell you that. So be careful when you're looking at it that way. Now, there's something else that I had covered on the channel, and I'm gonna kind of put this in front of you so you'll know where it's at because a lot of people may not know the channel if you're new or if you're visiting right now. Here's the channel. I got a must watch list. You can comb through it and see whatever you like. But the channel is all about universal trend as well as universal price action method and the chart. And we'll talk about that really briefly here. All right. So, but the trend failure tips. Now, this is just the absence of the price action method. So it's the absence of that the diagram. That's all. It's the absence of this, and that can cause the problem. So now I'm gonna go over that with you as well. I'm gonna go over that. All right. So now we have the candle. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this diagram. I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to. All right. So and then we have another one, right? Okay. But the problem is that when this mid here, the mid of this bar is inside of this one. Okay. Now that's for the up scenario. And now let's do the down one. Okay. When this mid is inside of this one, let me just try to make the mid right here. You get what I'm saying. It's the opposite of this. All right. It's the opposite of this. When that is happening, you're gonna end up with this. Okay. That's typically what goes on, or it just will turn around completely. All right. It's going to do one or the other. All right. So that's what you're up against. This is how it works. Just that simple. You just learn trading within minutes. Within minutes, you just learn trading. That's what I'm trying to accomplish here. I'm trying to accomplish that where I can teach somebody trading within minutes, not spend an hour, 2 hours. You don't have to. We're only sitting here doing this for a little bit longer. I believe I said that on this one. Let me just click on this if you don't mind. Okay. No, that's not the one. I want to click. I want to show you the one where I'm outright telling you that that's the goal. All right. So let me hold on, Joker. Don't explain us your fancy workstation. All right. So come on. Let me see. Can I find it really quickly here? I don't have any of that for you. I don't. I don't. I really don't. You're more than welcome. Come back and take it. Oh, here we go. In 40 minutes, you can learn trading. All right. So don't let popularity get you. Don't you can go back and watch that. I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to teach you trading within minutes. Within minutes. And I'm trying to tell you stuff that you will not absolutely find online because it's a part of training, things that's bigger than YouTube. All right. Now I'm willing to expose you to some of that information. I am. I really am. And you, the new trader. I'm not concerned about anything else but you. You new trader that need that help. You're trying to get out of what you're in. I talked about this on the video on yesterday, that it's all about your will. It's all about your will. I want to tell you this. I hope you don't mind. Give me a moment. I just want to express something to you. Everything constructed in society is all about your will. Every advertisement you see, your paycheck that they're going in taking your money is to build somebody else's dreams. All right. And you may want to get some of your loved ones' dreams come true. And maybe that's something that you would like to do. Unreasonable what they're taking from people. It's just unreasonable. Don't make sense to me. It's not fair. But but that's what's going on. All right. So now every day you wake up, it's all about your will. To take to take hold of what you would choose and of course have it redirected, if you will, so it to be advantageous for someone else while you suffer. Yeah, I just want to tell you that that's the framework really of how society really works. I don't care what no one says. I've experienced life enough to know that that's exactly what's going on. Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to wake up and I don't know, maybe someone takes their will that don't know you because if you're a stranger, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the world, but if you're a stranger, you're in danger. That's how it works. We teach our kids that, stranger danger, well, I have even as adults, that's still the problem, okay? If you're a stranger, people will attack you. Bottom line, that's what society does. And if they're not trying to attack you, verbally, they'll do it to you physically. So in some way, or they got this passive way of doing it again by trying to force your will to produce what it is that they want for themselves by exploiting you, forcing your will to perform tasks, knowing that there's no beneficial end. And I'm trying to frame it in a way that makes sense. All right. I want you to take because the only way to eradicate that issue, you have to take your will and exploit the thing that's causing the problem. All right. So the thing that's causing the problem, because whenever you have a complaint, somebody is benefiting from what it is that you're complaining about. I promise you that. And I want to help you remove the complaints that you may have. Definitely if you have any about trading. I want to help you remove those complaints. I want to help you do it. I want to help you do it. Let's do it again. Center, okay? Center of the trend, cost of the thought. And the idea will always have the destiny. It will always have the destination. All right. Give or take. Give or take. All right. And they made it. I want to show you how to take your will and begin to allow time to work in your favor. They're synonymous. Okay. Time and your will, they're one and the same. All right. You're going to lose time if you can't get control over your will. That's all I'll tell you. Now, let's see, can we get you to be able to spot what's happening on the chart. I want to make sure that you see this within minutes, within minutes, within minutes. I want you to come to this channel. Stop going to a bunch of these YouTube channels. Go ahead and do that here. Stay here. Watch these videos here. All right. Slow it down. Stop worrying about the stop worrying about the other things that's going on, the popularity, the different terms. You don't have to do that. You're making it too hard. You have to slow it down. It's really simple. It's either this, okay, or it's that. Okay. Now this is the stuff that we're looking for over here. All right. This is what we're looking for right here. It's either this, which is not favorable. That's not what you want. It can of course cause problems. But here's the thing, and I'm trying to tell you something that you can utilize, that when this show up, you can still rest assured that it's okay. It's okay. Just hold on. And that's why I'm trying to tell you about, the idea. The idea side of it has in it the end result, the destiny, the target. It has the target in mind. The market has the target in mind all the time. I promise you it do. It's not moving. This stuff ain't random. It's not random. I don't care what nobody is telling you. It's not random. It's numbers. It's numbers. So trust me, you got to program these machines in order to move. And if they can exploit your bad choices, clearly, I mean, they're machines. They have to program. I want you to know there's a person that programs machines. Okay, and so the person that programs machines, well, they're capable of making mistakes. I'm sure they are. And so you have other machines that will exploit other machines. And so they fight. They fight for the best price. That's all it is. Everybody got a store here. That's all it is. You take and buy or sell anything, you have your own store. And sometimes the prices of another store is just doing a little bit better than yours. That's all it is. And so I want to help you see where it can go. Now I'm gonna give this just a bit more and then I will be gone. All right. I just want to do this for just a bit longer if you guys don't mind. Let me know if it's okay. I told you guys I was gonna be leaving and yeah, oh man, I'm telling you, had someone just left me alone. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna say that again because I said it in the last video. I'm not that guy. I'm really not. I'm not that guy. I promise you, I'm not. And I'm definitely not like anyone that you're gonna run across here within the space of YouTube, which is weird because we. I'm not even gonna talk about that. But I want you to see for yourself. I want you, the person that came to the channel. This is fate that brought you here because I did not pay for any subscribers, likes, or views. I promise you that. What I'm offering is priceless. It's priceless. It's priceless. You hear me? And I want you to understand that. I'm not paying no money to give you something that's priceless. That's a bad decision. I'm not making no bad decisions. I'm not doing that. I don't want to regret. I'm not paying no money to give you something that's priceless. What I'm giving you costs more than the thing that I would spend. That's not a great financial decision. I mean, picture that. Now, I want you to think about this every time you go and watch somebody else's YouTube video. I want you to think about that. If what they're telling you is so priceless, why are they spending money on ads, advertisements trying to get you there? Why are they spending money buying subscribers? Why are they doing that? Why are they? That's a poor financial decision. Why would you listen to anyone that's doing that? If they're willing to spend money to have likes, why are they doing that? Everything that's happening here on the channel is organic. I am not trying to implement any seed of deception to have deception grow. No, I'm going to give you genuine information that you yourself can weigh in and say, yeah, I can identify with what's happening. I can see it. All right, so I want you to know the value of what's here. Now, they already made the target. They made the target. We still got this going on back here, but unless they get above here, because this is a no close level. Now, I didn't really express that to you, but this bar right here, and I'll have the indicator on the page at some point once you learn what's going on. This is your stop bar. So let me put the arrow here. That's your stop bar. Now here on this bar here is your no close bar. So you don't want to see them closing back beneath this bar really. And vice versa. So here you don't want to see them closing back above there. Okay. Now let me get your stop bar. This would be your stop bar. Okay. And you don't want them to close back above this bar here. And that's kind of what's taking place right now. You got the one, two, three. They're not closing back above this price. So guess what? Let's do this again. Let's do that again. Let's see, can we get here? And then I will absolutely get off here. And I hope you have enjoyed today's lesson. I will be back. So you don't have to, wonder, am I coming back? I'm gonna be back. I promise you. I promise you. Yesterday assured me that I need to come back. I'm coming right back. I'll be back. I absolutely will. And again, if you can read, just read. Read what's here. Okay. Not just the chart. Read some other stuff that's on this page. I'm only wanting to make emphasis on this though. This right here. This is what I'm offering. Stuff that's repeatable. Stuff and if you don't mind, it's up to you. It's totally up to you. Once you spend some time with this content, let people know what you think about it. That's all. Let people know down in the comment section. Let them know what you think about the content, just what I just went over today. Let them know what you think about it. Whether or not you think you can profit from it. Let them know. Just tell somebody whether or not you can profit from what it is that I'm explaining. Just if you don't mind, share it. Share it. Share it with a friend. Share it with a friend, or definitely share it with this community, because this community, we're trying to build a community of caring professionals, being polite towards other people that's in their profession. That's all. No academia, and that's why we kind of get a little mixture of other stuff. But we're no, there's no tuition essentially. You don't have to pay $100,000 to learn this. Everybody with a brokerage account feel like they got something to say. We're trying to get a community of caring professionals that care about one another. That's going to step up and say, "Hey, I had a good day. And I don't care what you made." Or, "Hey, are you still having trouble? Yeah, well, how about have you tried this?" Because you can attach stuff to what it is that I'm telling you. Do you need it? No, you don't need it. You don't need anything but the chart, because that's the goal, to be a chartist. I'm trying to teach you how to be a chartist. So all you need is the thing that's in the word chart. You just need a chart. That's all you need. And I'll teach you how to read the chart. And then from there, you can do whatever you want with your resources. Do whatever. Do whatever. Do whatever you want with your money. It's yours. You can do whatever you want. Remember, they're after your will. And when I say they, that you can put whoever in that spot. They, after your will. Put whoever in that spot. I want to show you something for free. For free. Do whatever you want with your resources. All right. That's not my concern. All right. I have a purpose. And if you don't know the definition of time, here's one of them. Time is a allotted portion at your disposal suitable for a purpose. I'm trying to fulfill a purpose here. This is legacy stuff. All right. It's kind of bigger than complaints and opinions. I'm working on legacy stuff. I'm dealing with linear stuff that's beyond the scope of my existence. Okay, so this is legacy that I'm trying to implement here. It's beyond opinions. It is opinions deal with what's I guess happening right in the moment. I'm a little bit beyond the scope of that at this point. All right, so let's see what they're going to do. Remember, we're still kind of sitting here. We're still kind of sitting here, but we got this going on too, and we got this level up here. Let's see what they're going to do. Let's just see. I see this mid is above this high, but we're running right back into that. I want you to read this thing with me now. Please read it with me. Make sure you're reading it with me. So are we, if we're not going to break this, all right? So let's do this. If we're not going to break this, what are they saying? What are they getting at? What are they getting at? Are we going back past here? Okay, well I mean that's pretty good. But don't be fooled just yet. Let's not be fooled about it. Okay, let's not be tricked. All right. Let's just see a little tight window. Now we're coming into a tighter window. That's all it is. Let's see what's happening. Let's see what's going on. Can they close above here? That would be ideal. 13 more seconds? Nah, I didn't think so. All right, so let's see what's happening. Let's see. Let's see if the next one can do it because that one didn't. Let's see if the next one can do it. They almost made this distance, so that's okay, but they're still nah, see that one didn't do it either. They're still at the center of the trend or the cost of the thought. They're still there. They're still there. Now, if you want to know how many bars make for a trend, it's seven. And there's a logical reason why it's seven and no other number. There's a logical reason. I would never reveal it on YouTube, never. So I hate to tell you that. I hate to be the bearer of that bad news, but I would never reveal it, never. It's a logical reason. Everything that I do, I mean, if you new to the channel, you'll know that I like to. Well, you'll get to know that I like to read the dictionary and express definitions and things of that nature, so we can get away from our opinions and begin to implement something that's kind of universal. I like the word universal. It's applicable in all cases. That's the definition of that word. Applicable to all cases. And when you're giving people logical information, it tends to appeal to everyone because everyone can identify that yes, that's the meaning of that information there. That's the meaning of it, and it has nothing to do with my perception, which is exclusive to me. It's universal. It's applying to everyone. So I want to talk to you about what's universal. Remember, the mentor gives help and advice, but if the advice cancels out the help, then how can they be a mentor? How can they? And so I would like to be able to mentor you into listening to the market so the market can begin to be your mentor and just keep showing you the same information and let you listen to it. I'm just trying to get your attention and say, hey, the market is talking to you. You might want to pay attention to that. Just allow that to happen really quickly. Just allow it. Just allow it. You may not, again, you may not agree with everything else I'll say on this channel. I promise you, you probably won't. I don't agree with my mom and dad, so I don't expect you to agree with everything. But please, let's agree together about this chart, this experience right now. What is it telling us? It went up to the center of the trend, the cost of the thought. Because remember, this is our diagram right here. This is our diagram. Everything that we do, we're doing it by thinking. Inside of our mind is no time. It's once you put it in time, begin to take action from it. That's when the fruit of what it is that you're thinking begins to come true, if it will. It begins to prove itself that it's now in motion. Inside your mind is absolutely no time. Although you exist in time, but inside your mind, there's no process, if you will. There's no process. All right. So the market, once it begins to move, and there's a process, so now it's likely, very likely, that it will end up to its destination. I just want to tell you that. Hold on just for 1 second. All right, do forgive me for that. All right, so yes, so it's in a process. It's always in a process. So we had a minor rotation there. Let's see, will it stay up or will it come back and turn around? Now, remember, we're still dealing with this over here, and we're still expecting this. I hope haven't forgotten about our target up here. I hope you haven't forgotten about that because I know I got a lot of crap on this chart, but remember, on this channel, all right, let me show you our channel. This is our channel. All right, so let's go back here. Let's go back. All right, so welcome to our library. So if you decide to subscribe here, this is our channel. So I always put the thumbnail of the chart that we went over. So I try to leave most of the drawings and stuff on the chart so you'll recognize the chart and say, hey, I remember, him discussing that portion, and this is what it did. Wow. Now, if you're new to the channel, I do want to tell you this. Let me just cover up that just for a moment. The primary focus of the channel is universal. That's all it is, applicable to all cases. But if you want to ever see me trade live, which I don't do a lot of because my finances are personal to me, there's some live trades down here for you if you want to take a look. It is. It absolutely is. I've done 1,000 ticks in this trade right here. I kind of got away from saying all of this in videos because I was hoping that people just know that I can trade, dude. I just don't do a lot of it. But here's a trade video I did 2 months ago. Here, I just don't do a lot. My finances are personal to me, and it's all about appreciating the quality of information that's coming across. So, if you can appreciate the information, yeah, I don't mind doing more live trades, but I don't do a lot of them. And yes, I do on here. I do what's reasonable. Okay. I want to appeal to people that's starting out, trying to get their trades to work and just care about information that works. All right. So I take one contract and occasionally I'll bump it up, occasionally. And trust me, it doesn't go but so far because I want to trade within the realm of people that is learning my information. Chances is they definitely don't need to be swinging a bunch of contracts. That's not what you need. So I am not trying to entice you to be a trader. It's really important. So I'll bump it up sometimes to 4 or 5 contracts. But for the most part, I'm swinging one contract. It's important to do that. All right. I don't want to entice you to be a trader. I want to say that to you. And I'm not going to constantly mention to you that there's a live trade section down here either. So tell a friend. All right. So the channel is all about learning, 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 learning. So they did make this. They got close, turned around, but they ended up making it. So they made this one. All right. So they made that one. All right. I'll just leave it there for right now. Let's see, can we get back through that high? They never broke past here, so we're still waiting for this. All right, let me just even that out just a bit. We're still waiting. They never got past here through all of this back and forth. All right, hope you don't mind tolerating me talk to you a little bit while all of this is happening. I'm trying to make it not just informative about the chart, but also giving you some other need to know information about trading and life, because this is almost indicative of the same thing. I mean, if you think about it, in order for you, and I'll say this because I talked about will. In order for you to remain in a position where you place a trade and they'll run your stop and keep taking your money, in order for that to keep happening, you have to remain in a posture of ignorance. So you being ignorant is how anyone can take advantage of you. So it's really difficult for I guess myself to take advantage of you in any way because I'm doing the informing. I'm the one telling you that hey, it's possible to make a lot of money and I can't take nothing from you. How can I take anything from you? And I'm clearly telling you how to do it. So it's impossible for that to take place. I want to let you know that. So if you're wondering, am I, someone that's, trying to take I'm not. I'm not. I'm trying to give you information that's absolutely just again worth more than what's free. I mean, what's online. What I'm offering for free is worth more than what's online that you'll have to pay for. I promise you that. I promise you, it's worth more than that. And I'll prove it. I'll prove it. Let's just keep spending some time together as I've done for the last past 8 months. And I want to make sure that whoever stops by the channel, if you're new, I want to make sure that you understand I'm not here for anything but to make sure that fate does what it needs to do while I build my legacy. You can be a part of it if you want. You can. Now they're approaching this high again. Well, now we got a slight high right here, which is kind of one and the same. But let's put it right there because we made a new one. So we're going to put it right there and see what the response is. It's all about repetition. Now let me put that diagram in front of you as well. Let me make sure I do that because it's all about education. This channel is that. It's about education. I'm trying to educate you. Everything that I'm teaching you. No, we haven't done that one, but I want to show you this one. I'll show you this one. I'm trying to make sure that you understand reiteration because from the title to the last remarks of any book, the author will always try to make you aware of what the book was all about. So you're not going to be able to learn to read literature without reiteration. All right, I just want to say that to you. And so I want you to look at the chart because that's all this is. It's that's all it is, information. And so you need to look at the chart for reiteration. You got to be able to see the same things happening over and over and over again. That's the only way you're going to become aware of what it is that the market is trying to make you aware of. The author I want you to remember this from the title to the last remarks. The author is constantly making emphasis on what the book is really about. All right. So that's why at the end they, of course, tell you, hey, in summary, this, that, and the third. So want you to know what it is. So let's see. I'm trying to stick around until they get here because I'm willing to bet the moment that I get off here, it will make it. I'm willing to bet it that no soon I get off because the Bitcoin does that. It does, and we're using Bitcoin. If you're not familiar with this market, it doesn't matter what market. I'm be honest. I don't trade Bitcoin. I don't. I don't trade. I'm a futures trader. I like the NQ. But this the Bitcoin and it's moving. So I want to get you something in front of you, and I got a little bit of free time. Want to put something in front of you that's moving. All right. And so we're gonna again, I told you this is not gonna be, and I got something I'm trying to do, and I'm gonna do it. And I just got a little motivation yesterday. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. For how long I can't guarantee you, but I'm gonna do it. I'm absolutely gonna do it. And let's see. Let's see. We get now scenario, but let's see. They got a new high. That's the only problem with the scenario. But let's start putting our stop in place. All right. So this bar had it going on. Okay. So let's go with this. This one even had it as well. This one had it as well. That one's giving it to us, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Let's just put this here. But it's a new high. That's all. New high. And I just told you, you got to be careful with our A's and V's. All right. So there's another spike, if you will. Remember our A's and V's? Remember I told you about this? So you got to be careful with the new high part. That's all. That's the only reason why I don't really like this one. That's not to say you can't, can't jump in once that mid get above, but here's the stop. I did put it there, but I don't really like that one because of where it's at. That's all. It's where it's at. So the ideal optimal scenario, is that you keep getting them back to back. That'll be just awesome. But yes, this bar is mid. I want to make sure I point to the right one so you'll know this bar's mid is above that high. This bar's mid, okay, is above. Well, I need to turn it this way. Let's turn it that way so you'll know which one is which. All right, so that's that. Okay, that's that. It's above that high. Okay, now here you see it again. Now this time they gave us two above this pivot. All right, so they gave us two above this pivot. Remember, I told you that's ideal for them to keep going. I don't think that this is going to work out. Now, based on how this bar closed, we kind of know unless it comes with some speed that they're going to give us that. They're going to give us that. Unless it come with some speed and rip to that upside, we're getting ready to get some of this. That's all. Because I don't think that this mid is going to get above that high. I don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. So we may end up with some of this, and that's why I don't like this. Definitely where it's at. I don't like none of that. Okay. Now it's not to say it can't keep going. I mean, there's things I can tell you, that can enhance everything else that I'm telling you. Uh, there's things that I can tell you that can enhance everything else I'm telling you. But I want to just make sure we utilize what's free. Let's go with what's free. What's free? I'm someone that's trying to just give you some free information and give this YouTube space something that's real. That's all. Something that's genuine. Oh man, I'm telling you, that nothing that's fabricated and and enticing and again void of considering others. I know I don't want to be a YouTube personality. I don't. My integrity means too much for me. It do. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I care about people. I'm not doing that. I care about people because we got to care about strangers. Remember, that's important. That's what's wrong with our society, man. Strangers are in danger, and everybody is a stranger to everybody. So no wonder we're having a lot of problems. We teach it to our kids, and then we all of a sudden just forget that that's important as we get old. We stop caring about one another, dude, and we don't even know each other, and that's bad. Like we need to just be considerate, polite. Don't be afraid to say, "Hey, thank you, great job." Civility. Kind of start right there. That'll kind of open up the door. That's all. I'm not trying to go eat dinner with my neighbors all the time, but I do know that it's important that they do recognize that I'm not a stranger. That's all. It's really just that simple. And I think the community here needs to know that too. I'm on YouTube. You probably pull up YouTube every now and then. I want you to know, hey, I'm not a stranger. You can stop by and say hello and possibly join the community and let someone know what you think about the information that's here. We're just still waiting. They should be able to get here. I know it's been taking a little bit of time. Hope you don't mind. I'm trying to make sure you get the full experience of what it is to be in the company of someone that does this for a living. That's not our setup. This is supposed to be one, but that's not it. That's not it. That may not work out, but we can put it there. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna work, and I think you know that too. At least by now, I think you know that too. But I'll just put it there. I'll just put it there. So right here, if you were to bring your stop up, you'll just get triggered out. I don't think we're gonna be I don't think we're gonna get back up there with that happening right there. I don't. But that is the scenario. I'll draw that right there for you. And I do have an indicator that'll like plot all of this. If you go back to some of the other videos, it will plot, color the bars, put the level there, and see it'll do all of that. It'll do all of that. It absolutely would. But I'm gonna just go at it with the plain chart for just a few videos to try to, just try to go in and let you see it. Here you go. This is how you look at it. That's all. Now, I thought we was going to get some of that the last time that this happened, but this time I might be right. So here's get ready to go on 3 bars doing this. All right. And again, you don't need 152 bars and start drawing lines on top and the bottom, and all we need a break and a retest, and see what happens if it springs out and all. We don't need that. We don't. We don't need a bunch of charts either. We shouldn't do that, and we shouldn't let time do a lot of this and not understand what's happening. See, and that's another problem too, because I know people say that's consolidation. Well, it's just the market just doing what it does. It's still presenting us this. It's just not on the time frame you're looking at. So it's still doing the same thing. I promise you it is. You're just not looking at the time frame that's presenting that information. Now remember I did tell you they got close. So I might have to go on this one. They got close, but remember I told you that this right here, they can do this and then all of a sudden go the other way. That's just something you want to just be mindful of. That's all. So they might can go ahead and get back up there. Let's see. Let's see if they can hurry up and get back up there. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Remember, your stop realistically is down here. All right, it's down here. All right, so don't get that. Don't do that. You'll learn over time. You'll learn over time. I can't tell you a lot. I want to just tell you what you need to know to get a trade to work. I know. Contrary to a comment I got yesterday, like I can't get a trade to work. I want to make you aware of. I'm going to make sure that anyone that just watched this video, that you can go get your trade to work. I can exploit exactly what it is that I'm telling you, and I want you to do the same. I want you to do the absolute same. I want you to. Really want that for you. I don't know of many people on YouTube that can read this hard. I don't know of no one, to be honest with you. But if you do know of that person, please leave their link down below. I like to watch some of their videos because I can't watch other people's stuff because I don't see no one doing this. Read this right here, and then tell me how far to go. Read this right here in real time while it's moving and tell me how far it's going to go. If you find a channel that's doing that, please make me aware of it. I would like to watch somebody's stuff. There's a lot of times I have to watch my own videos because I don't see people online doing this. And it's important that you do keep seeing the same thing. That's the only reason why I watch my own videos and have been doing it for years. You want to drill in your mind that this is the only way it behaves. Because the moment that you are fully persuaded beyond reason, I promise you, your trading will absolutely change because you're convinced of repetition. I want to make you aware of that. I don't watch because I'm egotistical. I don't watch other people's stuff that won't show mechanics, how the thing actually functions. All right. And what's repeatable, what's happening here will show up. It absolutely will create this. It will get to that distance, but it happens starting here. I hope that this have been somewhat informative to you. I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.